Guys, thanks a lot for accepting my invitation. Today I'm with part of the team at MONOLOT. I'm really looking forward to this conversation with you guys because, I think, your company came out basically of nowhere because you're very young, right?
3 years?
I would say that's young.
Officially, it's been 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Officially, but unofficially, it maybe started 11 years ago when Honza started doing ArcViz and visualization.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that sometimes it's a little bit of a mistake on my end to say that you came out of nowhere, because there is always sort of like a villain story that it's origin story, right? It's like, I was in this lab and then I got bitten by Photoshop and then I became this artist.
We first got bitten by architecture, and during our studies in architecture, I think we got bitten by 3ds Max and some other 3D programs and some artists maybe that we saw online creating these beautiful images of architecture. And suddenly we were focusing not on architecture itself, but on creating the images. Yeah, so everyone has their own story. I think Honza has different story than me, but I'm sure that everyone has that kind of background at the end.
So, okay, let me give this conversation a little bit of order. When did the name MONOLOT come up for the first time?
For the first time? Phew. Well, for the first time, I think 4 years ago, when me and Honza and our former partner Jakub were trying to create a brand. So we hired our friend from Trau, which was in charge of creating this brand, the naming, and the website, basically whole marketing.
But there were several different versions of the name. I saw it from the other side because I was not working here yet, but from Honza's side, he showed me the versions of the name.
There were a few versions of the name, but...
what does MONOLOT stand for?
Well, I think everyone has different story what it stands for. I think the right one has Andre, which created the name, but I think it stands for the simplicity, mono, and the lot for people in the studio as a space to meet and to create. That's my kind of understanding of this name, but I think.
Was it about 3 O's as well, or 3 dots?
Well, I think also there is this kind of a background story of 3 dots, connecting the 3 partners that created this studio, this brand. And I think there's no other meaning behind that. And I also,
cool name.
It's just many people confuse it with monolith, which everyone knows what it is. And also, it's maybe a cool name that doesn't mean anything. It's just a word.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because there is another ArcViz company which is called Monolith.
Oh shit!
Yes.
And they're based in Romania, and they're really good.
Okay, I will check them out. I think many people confuse it with monolith, but not particular with this studio in Romania. Yeah.
How big is the company right now?
Right now, at the moment, we are 16 or 17 people. And the team consists of project manager Dasha and Rene, also an HR person, and Paya, which is in charge of marketing. And then, well, me and Honza, we are kind of like flying around the studio and doing everything. And then we have 10 artists that are in charge of the project and, well, the visualization stuff.
Now, I've already listened to Dasha's story because we had the chance to meet in Poland a month ago or so at the BW3 conference, I think it was called. And so I know a little bit about your background. But what about yours? Like, did you work at any other visualization companies before starting MONOLOT, or did you always do your own thing on your own?
Me?
Yeah.
Me. Well, do you want like a long story short
or short story long?
Short story long. Well, long story short would be like I first came into this 3D world when I was 15 years old.
15?
15. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm only 32, so it's like 16 years ago. But it was just like a first introduction to 3D through Cinema 4D because I wanted to be a car designer. So that was the first 3D software that my friend recommended me. So I downloaded and I tried to create some version of my vision of the car. Yeah, so that's how I got into this 3D world. And I found it interesting and unlucky for me later, well, not unlucky for me, but when I went to a school of architecture, well, the priority was architecture and not the 3D. So I basically stopped creating anything in 3D for like 6 years in between. But then after some misfortunate events in school, when I got kicked out.
Wait. I feel like we need to unpack a little bit because yeah, because, like you're giving me cool stuff. I cannot just, okay, you got kicked out of school, whatever. What happened, David?
It happened. Can I swear? I just want
to it's PG-13. Nah, 16.
Cool. So I can say shit and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, so shit happens, after like 5 or 6 years after studying architecture. There was this final state exam, which I failed twice, so they kicked me out. And so then I started working in architecture office for 1 year, and then applied again for the school, for the faculty, to finish it once again. But in the meantime, I just kind of had a change of heart and realized that architecture, like itself, and the stuff behind it, and the culture of this business, it's not very for me. And so I decided to go back to my roots and realize that 3D would be very, very great opportunity for me. So I downloaded 3ds Max and started to work on my own and create something that I like and recreating it in 3D. And somehow I just came across my first client. I don't know even how, maybe through some friend of mine. So I was just, after that, I was just building, my portfolio and my, clientele.
Yes, fan base.
I was basically working on my own, trying to figure it out and spread my wings across my friends that I'm trying to do visualization. And if you need to help with some project, don't hesitate to call me. You know the drill. And And then later, maybe after 2 years, a friend of mine, and Jan, the other founder, she introduced us. Like we basically met on the street. Like, yo, there's my friend working in the basement, also doing visualization. Do you want to join him? And because I was working at home for like past 2 years, I was like, yes, of course, I want to get out and meet people. So then I just contacted Honza, and we met, and I moved to his basement. And then how the story of MONOLOT basically began. Yeah.
Okay.
And after some.
So that's super cool. But then tell me, how did you go from being a company in a basement to, you know, get your first employee, and then the next one, and then the next one, and then, you know.
Well, it was basically like fake it till you make it. You know this.
We've all been there.
Yes, so Honza has had his own label. I had my own label that I worked under, and we both had our clients. Yeah, but sometimes we helped out each other, and incrementally we got more and more projects to do, and we couldn't handle it on our own. So I think it was me who sent out a flyer, or basically inserat.
Announcement, or like an ad.
An ad, yeah, that we are young studio. Yeah, we are doing 3D visualization and stuff. We put it on the internet, and some guy reached me out. I basically maybe didn't see his email first, so he reached me out like 2 times or 3 times, and it turned out to be Rene, which was our first employee and still is with us. Yeah, and
that's
he's
good.
basically our senior artist at the moment. So
the most senior, I think.
The most senior after Honza, after Honza maybe. So. And then, people came to us one by one, and we actually were not focusing on their skills. Yeah, we just knew we need people. So we basically said yes to anyone who wanted to join us. Yeah. And we had this...
including myself at some point.
Including everyone, I guess. Like
I can imagine the emails that you were sending to people that were applying for jobs. You were like, whatever, man.
It's all good. Do you have a mobile phone? Yes, you're hired.
Okay,
and,
then the next question, I'm very curious about this, so, you know, forgive me if I cut in front of you, but I really want to know all these things. So when did you go then from, you know, hiring as many people as possible because you were busy, to sort of like understand, you know, we kind of need some structure here. We need somebody that deals with the clients, you know, Dasha. Yeah. We need somebody, you know, that does the modeling. We need somebody that does the lighting. When did you start restructuring yourself a little bit more like a proper company?
I think it was at the beginning of MONOLOT, 3.5 years ago, during the pandemic, actually. We started at the right start when the pandemic hits the borders. So we were, I think, maybe 2 or 3 months working remotely, and we knew like it's not actually manageable to manage people like scatter across Prague. Yeah, we need some management and some structure. So I think it was our former partner Jakub that was actually in charge of this structure in the firm, and managing the clients. So me and Honza, we were in charge of production of the images. Yeah, we were responsible for the quality, and Jakub decided to be responsible for the structure itself. Yeah.
Okay, so for and he would hold conversations with the clients. He would also maybe chase them for payments, which is.
Yes.
Oh sure, yeah. Yeah, the work that people don't like to do. Yeah, yes. Basically.
And, but then I think the issue happened that we started to have too many projects that Jakub was not able to handle, and then he decided to delegate it to project managers.
Then somehow maybe 2 years ago we started to do this like project management. And
when I came, I started as an artist, but very shortly after, I think like 4 months after, Jakub came to me that I can be a project manager. So it happened really fast in a way that we started to have too many clients and too many projects.
But we also had like mentors, and we were outsourcing people to help us create this structure.
Anyone worth mentioning looking back?
Yeah, definitely Remembership, for example. It's a firm in Prague, Czech Republic. And who else?
I don't know.
Yeah, we had some workshops with Rememberships. And also, I think there was some other people, but I'm not actually sure now. But yeah, we had some mentoring workshops with this firm. Yeah.
But this structure...
And also, we discussed it with many people, like that has some experience with running a firm or running a studio. Like, what should we do here, and what should we do there? How should the structure be built? And
but I think it was very smart and also sort of mature for you not to assume that you could figure this stuff out on your own, but that you actually decided to go and look for some help, because like a lot of the things that I see people struggling with running their own office is the fact that, you know, oftentimes most of the stuff they try to figure it out on their own. And it's not like they don't manage, it's just that the process is a lot longer and painful, you know, more painful.
Sure. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. I mean, the shorter you realize like what to do, and you realize that there are people that can help you with it, the better for you, right? Because you save a lot of energy figuring this stuff out your own. Yeah. So, and since we are not like a business schooled people, or we are not manager by nature or by education, so we also with Honza we like coming up with a solution like in the meantime, in the process.
Yes, we also experimented with structure a lot, especially from the beginning of this year when the partner left us. We did a lot of changes, I think, in the team structure and again with the client communication, in our financial stuff. So we're still developing and experimenting of what works the best, what doesn't work, and so on.
Yeah, we had some versions of the structures before that we find out that didn't work well. So we also are not restricting ourselves from trying something new. If we find out like, okay, this is too corporate shit for us, we will ease out a little bit, make it more like friendly to people to work here. Yeah. At the end, I don't want the studio to feel like a corporate. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that to a certain extent, like if you want to be a creative company, I think that, you know, the corporate nutshell can only go that far, and then to a certain extent you need to give some freedom to the people that work inside your corporation. Otherwise, too many rules, too many policies, too many politics, and then, you know, creativity is cut in half.
Yeah, so you have to keep some kind of freedom, allowing people like creative workflow and whatever suits them the best. Yeah. So
Daria, I want to just go quickly back to one of the things that you said before, because you said after 4 months I became a project manager. You know, you had a background of project management in architecture before going in. I want you to expand a little bit on that, because people might think the project managers, okay, 4 months I can do that. Okay, I'll just do that.
I'll also try to keep it short and sweet, but I think management education is nice to have, but I still think that it's very much based on the profession. So you learn management, project management in a specific profession anyway. So for example, in the school where I studied, there was a course of project management in architecture and building process. So there are some basics that every manager would know, but also the specifics are usually based on the field and on the profession. So yeah, what I wanted to say is that I had this experience from architecture, which is kind of similar in a way to what we do right now. Of course, the projects in architecture are much, much longer, and there are many, many sides to that. So it's not only one profession projects that we have here, but in architecture, there are also like sewage people, sewage specialists, electricity specialists, and so on. So in the end of my architectural career, I was at the point where I was managing projects with different professions as well. So when I came here, I thought that, oh, it looks very interesting for me to try to do it in this field. And it also looked fresh to some extent in MONOLOT, that no specific system was built before I came. It wasn't nothing like that, oh, we do it for 10 years already, this is how we do it, and there is no other way. So I could come and I could implement my own experiences into that. And but I think the most important thing that I've learned is talking to people and clients and different kind of people, because, you know, sewage specialists are not the nicest people in the world, these old guys, so I had a vast experience of communicating with all kinds of people. I'm not afraid of them most of the times.
Sewage people.
Sewage people, you don't mean the Mutant Ninja Turtles, right?
No, no, the guys that draw the sewage. So yeah, I mean, I don't think that you can do it after just 4 months of being an artist. But I don't think that you necessarily need to go and to have like 4 years of education of management to do that. I mean, if you are experienced in your company, you know what the processes look like, you can do it after several years, I think.
Guys, one thing that I really like about your company, and that I think that you do extremely well in comparison to a lot of other firms, is there are two things. The first one is the communication, the way you put yourself out there using social media, you know, all the channels that you have. And the other one is the fact that I wouldn't consider MONOLOT specifically an archivist company in the traditional sense of the world, although I'm not really sure what that means, because of the variety of projects that you do. So I would like to see how these two things are sort of like connected, because, you know, the ability of communicating, I can also see it in the way that you come up with creative ideas in your projects. Can you help me unpacking a little bit this side of MONOLOT that I think doesn't get a lot of publicity?
Maybe I don't understand exactly what do you mean.
So first of all, the way that you communicate, I think that, you know, you're extremely good at showing off your projects and describing, you know, the way that you dealt with the problem that your client had. And I think that, you know, you take a lot of time also in organizing the way you show projects, right? Whereas most companies, they'll just post a picture and say, we've done that, right? You go into the specifics. You're very conscious of doing that. On the other end, there are some projects that you have published where you have basically explained the whole process of consulting the client about their problem, which I think it allows you to get closer to the client, at least. I want to speculate on an emotional level as well, you know, really understanding the issues that they're trying to solve. So, you know, I want you to expand a little bit on these two topics. The first one is the communication, how you do it. And the other one is, what is it that, you know, like in a way sets you apart as a company when dealing with a client, trying to figure out what to do for them, how to give them the best product or service possible?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Kind of complex question here.
Try to answer that. I think first question is mainly to Paya, to our marketing manager, because this whole strategy of communicating projects, it's her main occupation, what she does. She always designs the way how to portray each project. She comes up with the name, she comes up with the story, and
how to communicate the project.
Yeah. To the audience. Yeah. And she was also responsible for writing this articles. She doesn't do it only herself, because some team members write them as well, but she always comes up with the idea that, oh, we should write about it, we should discuss this specific project, and so on. And about the clients, I don't know, you mentioned that we are not typical ArcV studio. I don't know if different ArcV studios do that as well, but we try to talk to the client all the time, especially with the new ones. We always try to make some kind of a kickoff call or a meeting and personally discuss the project. And usually on those meetings, we try to invite as many team members as possible. So for example, when the team is working on the project, so almost every artist comes and talks to the client and listens to what they have to say. I think it builds a better connection. But in the end, I was mentioning that I don't know if maybe other ArcV studios do that as well. Maybe it's nothing new and nothing special, but I think this is the main reason why we try to connect emotionally.
We just use common sense. Like none of us worked in any architectural studio before, so we have to use our common sense. Like what would client would like, from us to do, how to make him feel like the project is being taken care of in the best way possible.
Yeah, but some of us did work in architectural studios before.
Visualization.
Yeah, visualization. But again, maybe this experience of that some of us worked, for example, me, with architects and developers, I know I can understand them maybe better sometimes. I know what they want to see. I understand when they talk about architecture, because, for example, there are some details that they like to discuss and some elements and so on. But if you didn't study architecture, you may not know that. You may not understand them fully. So, and with developers as well, I know that what they want to do, they just want to sell stuff. They want to sell apartments, and they want to sell.
That's actually a good thing that you're saying this, because then the next question would be like, how do you help a client moving from the mindset we just want to sell some apartments to make them understand, look, you know, don't you want to try and build a connection with the viewers and the potential clients that might come to you? Don't you want to elevate the state of your project and not just be another real estate development? How do you do that? How do you bring your client into that headspace?
We try. We just try our best, but it depends, like from client to client. Everyone is somehow different.
Yeah.
We have clients also that have their own strict vision, how should we portray this and that, and somehow sometimes we want to break this restriction and So in every project, at the start of the project, we basically have this concept round in which we create as many concept and sketches possible.
Yeah.
Not only the ones that our client wants us to do. And I think this is just the way how to make him think differently about his project. Yes. Because I understand, like, he's been working on his own project for many years, and he has this vision incorporated in his own head. But maybe it's lucky for us that we don't have this restriction, this box in our head, and we try to think outside of it and show the client as many possibilities as there are. Yeah.
And it's also helpful to present it personally, especially with real estate companies and developers, when you not only send it to them, but you also take your time and make a meeting or a video call and basically present them each picture. What did you have in mind? Why did you do that? And it also changes their mindset sometimes. Not all of them are conservative. There are some of them who actually want to be forward thinking and want to be different from their counterparts. I think the smart way to sell them something different is to say that, oh, if you would do that, you would be different from all other developers here. And they, oh, okay, yes.
Yeah, so sometimes a client wants us to do like 5 images. So we will create like 20 different concepts or 20 sketches. Well, sometimes it all goes to waste, and the client will go back to the 5. But sometimes it also work for other clients as an upsell. Okay, I wanted 5. Great, I want 5 more. So at the end, we will end up like with 10 images for the project. Yeah. So this is just one way how we change the perception of the client on the project.
I think, you know, like, I'm gonna sound extremely old in saying this, but your generation, it feels to me like you guys are moving this business from being a transactional sort of business, you know, where the old school people would be like, okay, it's 5 images, this is the price, take it, go, and that's it, to a proper we care type of service business where you come to us with something, we'll give you more, we show that there is really something that we can do to make it better, and then you're really taking a chance. Either the client can understand that you guys care, and so they'll be like, okay, these guys, they really want to do something better, let's trust them, to, you know, thinking, okay, if they don't care, at least we have done our best and we have shown them better. Is that how you go on about this?
Correct. Yeah.
We try to not to sell something, but to collaborate on the project. And I think this is the key to this very nice relationships between us and clients, that we are not trying to push our stuff onto them, but we say, okay, there is your design, we want to help you. For example, I usually say, we want to help you win this competition, or we want to help you sell your apartments or whatever. So let us try to help you. So this is our solution, how we can assist in a way, and not that we just buy our stuff and fuck you.
Yeah, but we also want to like be creative, and if a client comes to us with like a street vision, then it's like he wants us to be just the plugin, or just the cook that does the soup with the ingredients that was put in before, and well, we try to avoid it because we like to be creative,
At the end,
well, I like to be chefs.
We like to be chefs, not the cooks.
At the end of the day, I think it's a sort of a balance between the two, right? Because you gotta pay the bills as well, so.
Sure.
Yeah, of course. Not every project is the...
I mean, it's all about the compromise. Yeah, about like and communication with the client. Yeah.
Now, how do you land projects that are not strictly related to architecture? Because, you know, I've seen in your portfolio there is this yacht project that you've developed, the mechanical robot arm, I think it's called, what is it called again?
So concrete. Yeah. So concrete.
So, yeah, exactly.
So how do we land it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, how did we land it? It's just like a word got spread out, and the client referenced us to another person, to another partner or client. And also, well, this was basically regarding the robotic arm, yeah. But how we landed the yacht, I think it was the recommendation also from our former investor a year ago. And well, they had contacts, many contacts all around the world in the was the Arab world or in Dubai and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think they recommended us to this Oceanco company, and they gave us few projects. I think two yachts at the beginning, just to try it out. Yeah, what's possible to do there from our side, and they liked our approach very much, I guess. And a few months ago, or a few months after that, they gave us the opportunity to work on this bigger, much more prominent yacht, which was also designed by a very well-known and prominent designer, I think former designer of Rolls-Royce. So that was also my dream come true, because I like cars. I've been always interested in cars. So through that, it's also like a little dream come true, like to be able to communicate with this kind of people. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. The next Rolls-Royce project will come in soon. Don't worry.
Hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yes.
Fingers crossed. Thank you, man.
Hey, no.
Yeah.
And tell me about the concrete project. You know, the robotic arm. How did you go on about developing those ideas? Because that felt to me extremely distant from what we are usually used to see in the architecture visualization field. In that project, there was a concept that went beyond, right? And so did you look for help? Was it all coming from within MONOLOT?
The firm is so concrete. And I think the approach was basically very similar to other projects. Well, the client came to our office, we discussed their vision, but they also gave us an opportunity to come up with some other ideas. And I think we were very lucky to have some other artist in our studio back then, which now works in Norway. And he was responsible for the concept part. So he was very creative in this, and he also, I think, very enjoyed this project. And so we gave him the opportunity to work on this project on his own. We didn't actually, with Honza, we didn't tell him what to do or anything. And that's how it started, basically. So we created some few concepts. They picked few of them, and this is how basically the collaboration between So Concrete started. And we are still in contact. We still do some projects for them, and yeah, it's very. For me, I try to spread our wings as much as possible. So this is one of the fields that is very interesting for us. Yeah, it's very different from the architecture, but also very similar for us in a creative way.
Guys, I'm really, I really like the fact that you do a lot of projects also in you know, Eastern Europe, you have a lot of projects going on in, I've seen Slovakia, in Czech Republic. This proves against, you know, the most people opinion that there is enough money and willingness to do good things, even in countries where traditionally, you know, people don't want to spend a lot of money for this kind of artistic services. But you seem to be doing it great. And this, I think, shows that good work gets appreciated, even in places where traditionally, you know, people don't want to spend money, right?
We do a lot of projects in local countries, and it's a big benefit for us that we can we share the same language. We can meet personally and also try to convince people and that it would help. It would be nice.
We consider Slovakia to be a local country because I'm from Slovakia. Okay. So.
I'm not from here, so hopefully soon. But and I think that yes, there are money definitely here, especially with bigger companies and developers, and also the desire to sell their real estate to foreign investors, and they want to improve the quality of their visuals. I think it's not on the same level yet as Western European countries or Northern European countries, but I think we're moving there quite quickly. So, and of course, architects also want to have beautiful images. We do a lot of competition projects for local architects. And for now, I think we have like 50-50 of clients, foreign and local, something
that's
like
what
that.
I used to say, 50-50.
Now maybe a little bit more of a foreign, but it's not like 10 to 90. It's almost at the same level right now.
But also many architectural firms tend to create the images like in-house for projects that are not competitions.
Yeah.
And then when they have the right budget for the competition, they try to reach the studios for the visualization. So yeah, we do mainly competitions for architects.
Bottom line is do good work, and sooner or later good clients will come.
Thank you. Yeah, we hope so.
Guys, I try to keep these conversations around 45 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes. We have already passed my wish time. I just want to thank you for taking the time, you know, to talk to me and to share a little bit of your story with our followers at the D2. We have plans together. I'm not gonna say more than that, but we're very excited to finally get to know each other, and I look forward to get to meet you in person, maybe in the future.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah, thank you very much, Fabio. It was very nice talking to you as well. I was a little bit nervous at the beginning. But,
nah, you guys, you know, you're amazing. I love your work. I think you're super creative. It's always an honor for me to find people that are capable to bring our industry a little step further, right? And you know, it's not about the new technologies. It's not about, you know, all these things that make the headlines. It's about people. And so, you know, like when you get to meet those people in person, or like in this case online, I don't know, to me it makes me feel like I'm part of something bigger. And so for that I'm thankful that you guys took the time to talk to me.
You're welcome, man.